Hello and welcome. It's The Chat, and I am Manny. My guest on the program this week is somebody who is never in short supply of a smile. We'll find out why in a moment.
Retired Vice Admiral Jubrila Ayinla is a former Nigeria Chief of Naval Staff, an administrator, and a national master of chess. Born in December 1948 in the rural Fulani community of Babura, the former Kano Emirate, now Jigawa State, the indigene of Lagos State is the fourth of his father's children. Ayinla's educational journey began at Edward Blyden Memorial School, Lafiaji, Lagos in 1953. He attended Holy Trinity Anglican Primary School, Kano, in 1955, and then Igbo Union Grammar School, Kano, in 1961. Ayinla joined the Nigerian Defense Academy at the age of 17, in spite of his mother's refusal. He excelled as a cadet in his courses and training as officer cadet of the second regular course of the Nigeria Defense Academy, Kaduna, in 1968. He graduated first in order of merit and first in sciences. He also attended the Royal Navy Staff College, Greenwich, London, and U.S. Naval War College, Newport, Rhode Island. He was appointed Commanding Officer, Nigerian Naval Ship NNS Enugu in 1972 and was captain of the NN flagship NNS Aradu in 1985. He served as Commandant of the National War College from 1994 to 1996. Flag Officer commanding Eastern Naval Command and later Western Naval Command, promoted to Rear Admiral on 1st October 1991. Admiral Ayinla is the first Nigerian chief instructor to take over from the British advisory team at Command and Staff College, Jaji, in 1986, from 1986 to 1988. He is the 12th Nigerian Chief of Naval Staff. Appointed Federal Minister of Commerce, Tourism and later Health between 1996 and 1998, he was promoted to the 3-star rank of Vice Admiral in 1998. Ayinla was instrumental in the creation of states, significantly that of Akwa Ibom and Cross River states. His 35-year naval career came to an end when he voluntarily retired from service in May 1999. After retirement, he ventured into real estate development. By way of giving back to society, he engages in quiet philanthropy and social work, providing relief to the needy. Admiral Ayinla is married to Jemilat Ayinla. Their union is blessed with 4 children and many grandchildren.
Admiral Jubrila Ayinla, how did you start your military career, or so to speak?
Well, I guess it was providence because we were in school in Kano. I was in Igbo Union Grammar School, Kano. In our final year, that was 1965. Some officers came from the Defense Academy to ask us to register to take the entrance exam to the NDA. I wasn't interested at all. But somehow, I was persuaded to go and take the exam just to use it as preparation for school start. Well, school start was supposed to be in November, December. And this was an exam in September. So that's how I went to take the exam. Secondly, I was interested in traveling by train from Kano to Kaduna.
Okay.
I guess I had never had a train journey which I knew about until then.
Have you traveled by sea before?
No, never.
So, man, how did you come across the Navy? How did it become the choice?
It's interesting because in the NDA, it was a combined service institution in which Army, Navy, and Air Force trained together. Then you either choose or you are chosen for the services.
What was the case?
In my case, it was that after 1 year, we took our A-levels, and they just took the first 5 in sciences to the Navy, and the rest
you
to
were
the Army.
amongst them.
I was.
You couldn't have joined the Army. You know, did they not say, I mean, I keep hearing
Yes.
that the Army is number 1 in the military.
Number 1 by institution. The Army was a very old institution in the 1800s, whereas the Navy was established in 1956. You know? So that's why when we talk of the Army, Navy, Air Force, we name them according to how they were instituted. The Army was in the 1880s, Navy 1956, Air Force 1964. So that's why we say Army, Navy, Air Force.
Okay. Was it due for you to leave at the time you left?
Well, not exactly. You know, there was a change in government from military to civilian government. And in fact, I advised the then incoming head of state to start on a clean slate.
Who is this?
The General Olusegun Obasanjo.
Oh, yes.
When he came in as head of state, I was the one who advised him that he should allow all of us go so that he can start on a clean slate.
And he listened to you?
I guess so, because there was a controversy just before he came in. There was this controversy as to the fact that service chiefs were either political appointments or not political appointments. And it was in the media, both print and electronic media.
So looking back, you know, what's your best memory of the childhood?
Oof. Well, I was told that when I was born, you know, my father, that place in Barbara was all Fulani, and it was Fulani land. And when I was born, the people there so liked my father and my family. They gave my mother 11 mother cows. 11 mother cows. The Fulani would rather give you 100 bulls than give you a mother cow.
What did she do with it?
No, they gave her so that I would become a cattle rearer when I grew up. So I should have been one of those headers you people are chasing about now.
Well, what do you think about them, really? I mean,
They were very kind people. They were very accommodating. They were, you know, generally, they are not the type which we are now seeing carrying AK-47s about. The Fulani man was a very kind, friendly, accommodating person with a stick, only a stick for you know, controlling his herds. What we have now are probably infiltrators from outside. From outside. A lot of intelligence work still needs to be done.
As an admiral, have you ever shot at anyone?
No. You know, in the ships, we shoot at ships, not at human beings, at individuals. We sink the whole ship.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
You sink the whole ship?
Yes, with the captain, with everybody there. Yes. So it's not like the army where we shoot man to man. No, we sink the whole ship.
Have you ever looked forward to traveling by sea when you were in the Navy?
Of course.
Where did you think of going then?
I went everywhere. I was in the Navy for 33 years plus.
My goodness.
When I say 35 years color service, you know, the time during the Civil War is counted as double. That makes it 35 years. I was in the Navy for 33 years, 3 months and 3 days. And there was no way I didn't go. We brought NNS Aradu from Germany. I was there when it was being built from scratch. From the first day they laid the keel of the ship. I set up the administration of NNS Aradu. All the trainings and everything was...
Where was your family then?
My family was in Nigeria. Yeah. I was in Calabar when I came and got married. 5 days later, I was back in Calabar on my ship.
And you married the love of your life, it would seem.
Yes.
I look around you, I see she's everywhere you are.
Yes, well, that's, again, what I say, destiny. When we came from ND as cadets, you know, we were like babies of the whole Navy. Admiral Way personally received us, and I'll probably tell you that he was the one who initiated us, because when we came, we were always around him. They used to call him the old man, and he had his head like yours. And I remember a particular incident. Immediately we came, he called the steward, and he whispered something in the ears of the steward. But the steward came back with a tray and 5 glasses of some dark liquid. I don't know what was in it.
So you had it.
He said, when he says 1, you take the glass. When he says 2, you put it in your mouth. 3, you swallow it. That's the initiation I had. And it went right into my head. It was what they call triple X rum.
Wow.
And he says, you cannot be a good sailor without spirit.
Yes. I know that.
You know that.
I know that much.
You know that much. So that was the initiation to sea.
That's the seamen always have the song.
Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum.
15 men and a dead man. Yes.
Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum.
You're a good-looking man. And, suffice to say that
yes.
you are looking this at 70.
72.
72.
72 in December.
Wow.
Yes.
Come to think of it, you have worked with many heads of states along the line.
That's right, somehow.
Which one of them, is your favorite?
It's very difficult. If I told you that I like, for example, the current head of state, would it be because he's head of state? No. Okay. I first met him in 1977 or 78. I was in Abeokuta in the brigade commander's guest house. I was occupying the guest house, and he came in, himself and Amadou Ali. Amadou Ali was a commissioner for education, and our current head of state was Minister of Petroleum, or Commissioner for Petroleum. I don't know whether they were called commissioner or ministers at that time. They were my seniors. They were lieutenant colonels. I was a lieutenant commander. I quickly ran out from the bedroom to allow them come in. Our current head of state insisted that I should remain in the room. He slept on the sofa.
What does that say?
I know how to.
What does that
it's
say
humility. It's humility.
You reckon?
Yes.
There was a time I was having a conversation with you.
Yes.
And we talked about coronavirus.
Yes.
And you appear to know a lot about it in your military days. I mean, how is that so?
No. You see, when I was Minister of Health, that was in 1997, I was appointed Minister of Health. And people were surprised because I was not a doctor. And during those 7 months, we achieved 80% coverage on immunization. We took the rollback malaria program to WHO. It was me who represented Africa to present the rollback malaria program to WHO. Now, my job as minister was to manage resources. We have some of the best brains in this country, in Nigeria. Okay? I went to, may so rest in peace, Professor Olikoye Ransom Kuti, and convinced him to write us a public health policy document. He did it pro bono. He didn't take a single kobo from this country. He did it, and that document is still available. If we had followed it, we wouldn't be suffering what we are suffering with coronavirus now.
So what are they doing wrong? Because a lot of people don't seem to believe, the COVID-19
COVID-19 is a reality. It is a reality, a stark reality, and there are so many other diseases which are even doing more havoc than COVID-19. I looked at healthcare as a pyramid. Now, a pyramid is only stable according to the base. Okay? So put the doctors on top of the pyramid. Yes, they are at the top. Or who do you have at the bottom? Cleaners. If they don't clean the hospital, they don't clean the laboratory, they don't clean the theater, you cannot perform operations. So why do we give them the least and regard them as the least? When the doctor finishes his operation, who looks after the patient? Nurses and our midwives. So why don't we take care of them? So we gave everybody a pride of place in the pyramid.
You pick a question.
Only one.
Only one. Okay.
How would you respond or react to someone publicly harassing your wife?
Has it ever happened?
No.
I'm sure.
No, it has
Maybe
never.
when you were much younger.
Well, yes, of course. Yes, I remember.
Okay.
The first match in the National Stadium in Surulere, Lagos. We went to watch the match together. It was between Nigeria and the Niger Republic.
Yes.
Okay? I didn't have a car, of course, so we took a bus or taxi to the stadium, and we came out. As we came out, and my younger brother was with us. My youngest brother was with us. As we came out to cross the road, I think we were still driving on the left side of the road or the right side. What side do we drive on now? Right, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Okay, it was the other side of the road. So the vehicle stopped for us to cross, from that stadium to cross to the other side. As we were coming, one downfall just came like that from the other side. These other vehicles are stopped. He almost killed all of us. So I went to the driver and I said, why was he driving that? He spat on my face.
Wow.
He spat on my face. And I could recall that we went into a fight and all that. And some of the boys, one of them had a bottle of stout he wanted to break on my head. It was my wife who held him from behind.
No wonder the love.
So, well, if anybody was going to harass my wife, I'll probably beat up the person. Let me tell you the truth.
Do you see yourself doing a thing like that now?
No. Of course. First of all, we wouldn't put ourselves in such situation to begin with.
Because you have
in
a
which
car.
anybody...
Because you have a car.
Not just have a car, who will see me now and want to fight me? No. Those days, it was that we used to put our chest out, we walk, and it was like, if you didn't give way, I would use my shoulder to remove you.
What has been your greatest regret?
Oh, no. My only regret in life was that my father died while I was still too young. I was 11 plus. The last year in primary school, that's when my father died. So I didn't have the chance to know my father and for him to pass on things to me which a father would pass on to a son. I think that's the only regret I have in life. But probably if he was alive, I wouldn't have even joined the Navy at all. Because I'll tell you, after we took that entrance exam and the letter came inviting me to the interview, I'm told I wasn't home because my father had died, at that time. I went to secondary school. On the first year, my mother had to struggle. I was selling cola nut and cigarettes when I was in Form 1. I was selling soap in the afternoon. Our school fees was more than University of Ibadan used to charge in Igbo Union Grammar School. 40 pounds per term. Ibadan University was 53 pounds for the whole year at that time.
Let's even narrow it down.
Yes.
Yeah, I know you.
Yes.
You love your wife so much, I know that,
How do you know?
Well, I've seen a lot.
Okay.
So literally everywhere she is with you in the pictures.
Well,
but what don't you like about her?
My wife is too hardworking. Okay. She's She's been in the kitchen since yesterday when she heard you are coming.
And I've not had anything.
You will have. You will see. You will see when you finish. You will see when you finish.
All right.
Eh?
Okay.
No. We grew up together.
Oh, yeah.
I will tell you that.
Is she from your place?
No. I've told you about Admiral Oni. Now, Admiral Oni was an old man in the Navy, one of the senior most officers, the youngest. And we were the youngest officers at that time. And I used to drive his car for him to take him home. And I knew his whole family. He had 11 children. I think 9 girls and 2 boys. So I knew the whole family. I didn't know my wife. My wife is a granddaughter of Lieutenant Commander Oni. So it was the current Admiral Oni was a cadet at that time. He brought his niece to my birthday, my birthday in 1972. That's where I met her for the first time.
You must have had a pleasant career.
It was good. I cried like a baby once. I wanted to leave NDA because they punished me so much. And Salih Ibrahim and who is that now? Maybe Dia or Delike or somebody found me and they sent me back and punished me some more.
Who was the most difficult, so to speak, of the naval officers you worked with?
Difficult. I wouldn't say, now with the benefit of hindsight, my brother, in quotes, Elegbede,
I know him.
He was the one who punished me most. He was the one who was so harsh with me, only to find out that he's my brother. In Yoruba, we don't have cousins or this or that. We are either brother or sister or this thing. But I see all of them as people who wanted to see me do well. I wouldn't have risen to the point where I was because I was very rascally and all that. I would be the one to tell my captain, when he says I'm arrogant, I say it's arrogance born out of excellence. I was proud of being a good sailor.
So
I could move my ship like a toy.
Really?
Yes.
So which of the forces, in your opinion, was the most disciplined?
The Navy, of course.
You would say that, wouldn't you?
Navy is very disciplined. I mean, for you to keep a white dress, you have to be clean.
So what are the 5 most important items you take along with you on a castaway?
I'll take my Quran. I'll take a praying mat. I'll take my chess set, my iPad, and what we call in the military a poncho. Poncho is an army. Listen, you can use it as a raincoat. You can use it to make a tent to live in. You can use it to cover yourself. So it's an all-use item. It's called a poncho. It's waterproof. It's warm. It can serve you in cold. You can use it to make a tent to stay in and all that.
I know you liked playing chess.
Yes.
It was your favorite game.
I will tell you, chess, the school I went to, Ibo Union Grammar School, Kano. I recently even chatted with the former emir of Kano. I told him my school was better than King's College. We had chess as one of the subjects in school. We actually play chess as part of the curriculum. So that's where I learned chess.
And you still play chess now?
I still play because you can play chess till any age, once your brain is still there. My children learned to play chess before they talked.
Really?
Yes.
How is that?
I made chocolates of chess pieces and I use it to teach them.
Admiral Jibrila Ayinla. It's been our pleasure having you on the program. That's the 12th Chief of Naval Staff of the Nigerian Navy. Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
I am Manny, and see you next time. The Chat is produced by Channels Television. You can watch it again online. Just visit our social media platforms: Twitter, YouTube, Facebook.